Call the meeting to order, City of Laredo regular council meeting, council chambers, 1110 Houston Street, November the 17th, 2025, 5:35 p.m. All stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Moment of silence, please. Also for Jose Mansur Galan. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Honorable Mayor, Dr. Victor D. Trevino.
Present.
Honorable Council Member, District 1, Gilbert Gonzalez. Honorable Council Member, District 2, Ricardo Rangel Jr.
Present.
Honorable Council Member, District 3, Melissa Cigarroa.
Present.
Honorable Council Member, District 4, Ricardo Rick Garza.
I'm here.
Honorable Council Member, District 5, Ruben Gutierrez Jr.
Present.
Honorable Council Member, District 6, Dr. Tyler King.
Here.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member District 7, Vanessa Perez. Honorable Council Member District 8, Alisa Cigarroa. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mayor, motion to excuse the members that are not present.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of minutes, November 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We'll move with citizens' comments. First comment, Sister Rosemary Wells.
Mayor, would you entertain a motion to proceed with recognitions first?
Second.
Yes. Let's go ahead and start with the recognition before we go into the citizens' comment because we do have a lot of people. Apologize for that. We can
One
wait.
second, sister.
We can wait after that.
All in favor?
All right, motion?
There was no motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Proceed with the recognitions. That would be in supplemental agenda.
And Mayor, I have two recognition items, 53 and 54. Anybody else?
I'll second that motion. Any other recognitions that we have in mind?
Yes.
Yeah. Recognition first.
Yeah, recognition, yeah. Which one?
Is it a supplemental?
It's on a supplemental.
I second. Second.
Okay. All right. We have some recognitions in the communications, which I'll start. Communication presentation by Mayor providing general comments on city matters, upcoming initiatives, and other relevant updates for the council and the public. Laredo Marathon, Laredo Annual Marathon. I want to announce that yesterday was successfully presented the third annual City of Laredo Marathon. This event has quickly become one of our city's most important traditions because its strong community outreach and its potential for economic development and tourism. I make it a point to attend this event every year. Having traveled to marathons in other locations, I've seen how other cities and other mayors have embraced these races to drive growth, visibility, and community pride. Next year, we expect the largest participation yet, with the addition of both a 5K and a 10K race. Some of the highlights from our race include nearly 300 runners participated coming from countries around the world, including Belgium and Ecuador. We welcome hundreds of spectators from the community cheering on athletes throughout the course. Because our marathon in Boston is a Boston Marathon qualifier, 9 runners earned qualifying times for the 2027 Boston Marathon, one of the most elite races in the world. We celebrated incredible moments of inclusivity, including our first special needs nonverbal autistic participant, Alian Guzman, who completed the half marathon. We had the youngest marathon finisher, only a 16-year-old, Matthew Mendoza, proudly crossed the finish line. And we also honored the endurance of 2 70-year-olds, one being 77 and one 79-year-old participants completing what will be his 148th marathon. Our participants received their medals from a group known as the Champions, who expressed tremendous excitement watching each runner complete their journey. I believe we have the champions here. Now, this marathon is far more than a race. It is about community, inspiration, and unity. I want to thank all our sponsors and congratulate and thank all city departments involved: Parks and Recreation, PIO, Traffic, Police, Fire, and the Sheriff's Department and Border Patrol for the support and coordination. We will be having a special recognition for you all coming up. So thank you again for all the hard work that you do. Now, to speak on Laredo Motor Carriers Association Trailblazers Transportation Gala. As we know, Laredo is the #1 port of entry in the Western Hemisphere, and we will continue to have a seat at the table as a global leader in international trade. Our success depends on collaboration and continuing to share what I call the Laredo formula. I have had the honor and opportunity to visit the White House under 2 different administrations to highlight what our community truly represents: binational collaboration, expertise, and unity. With the recent presidential application being approved, Laredo is now projected to rank among the top 5 commercial container crossing in the entire world, alongside global giants such as Shanghai, population 29 million, Singapore, population 6.1 million. In my mayoral leadership class with the mayor of Shanghai, I was asked a question: how does Laredo, with a population of only 262,000, compete at that level? And the answer was clear. It is our binational relationships, because of our industry leaders in transportation and organizations like LMCA. Their partnership, insight, and leadership are foundational to our continued success. I want to take this time to recognize these interested leaders and invite the public to the LMCA Trailblazers Transportation Gala on November the 20th, where they'll be honored for their contribution.
Mayor, before this picture, we take a picture with the
Yes. Before we take a picture with them, let's take a picture with our first honorees. Go down there.
Laredo champions. The runners who are here are Parks and Recreation Department, and all of the other participants that are here with us this week.
You want to put them in?
That is awesome. Really, really cool.
Can we get you guys to
Mayor,
just a little bit
move
of
back.
medals?
Move
Yeah.
back, yes. Move back, yes. Más para atrás, Mayor.
A little more, yeah, let's go.
Got it?
I think we should go
Everybody?
We
there,
can
yes.
kind of layer, have some of y'all
There we
kind
go.
of squeeze in a little bit more.
I need you
Are they good up there? Right here with Brenda first? Give me 1 minute, sir.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, one more. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Was he gonna take it? You go. Right over there. Oh, the moms, yeah.
Moms, y'all were at the finish line? Yes. For this big of a crowd, I'm gonna have to do it this way. For you all, if you all be in it.
Right over here.
Over here. All right. 1, 2, 3. Over here.
One more right here. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Congratulations, thank you. Great job.
Mayor, if I may. Mayor, if I may, just to recognize that Gilbert Gonzalez, Councilman Gonzalez is here.
Yeah, LMCA. All right. Next honorees will be LMCA. Go ahead, please.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, Priscilla Johnson, Executive Director for Laredo Motor Carriers Association. I just want to express our heartfelt gratitude to you all for helping us recognize some of our industry leaders who have evidently contributed to putting Laredo on the map. And this time,
Yes, thank you. Jerry Maldonado, Chairman of the Board for the Laredo Motor Care Association. Also, as Priscilla said, thank you. Thank you for helping us, promote what we do as an industry and who we are as a city. We have our honorees here, some of them present. If they can, come up and we can take a picture.
Sure.
You don't mind?
Okay.
and just really quick, the goal for this recognition has been to inspire our future generations by sharing their stories as visionaries. Would any of the trailblazers like to share a few words?
Congratulations, thank you for everything. Thank you. ¿Cómo estamos? Felicidades, mucho gusto verlo.
I'm sorry, because I'm short.
Push me, Brenda, push me. You want me to take it?
That's fine, I'll do that.
Priscilla, the ones that are not here, can you take? Priscilla, you too? Yes? Do we need more on this side, Brenda? or-
Yeah, can
Can we have
y'all
one of
kind
you in this side?
move
Or you,
here?
Jerry, please? There you go. Right here with Brenda?
Alrighty, 1, 2, 3.
Right over here? You? Right here? Oh, you want your Brenda?
Right there.
Right here? One right here with me. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Right here.
Thank you.
Last one. Yep. Recognition.
Supplemental recognition of Adalberto Gonzalez, a junior political science major and current 2025-2026 president of the TAMIU Student Government Association, SGA, was chosen to participate in 2025 World Affairs Councils of America Student Scholars Program and National Conference, happening November 18th to the 21st, 2025 in Washington, D.C.
You want to say a few words?
We're here? All right. Your council members and mayor, thank you so much for having me. Eager, I'm very excited for this exciting trip that we'll be having. I want to thank TAMIU and the community for all the support. I hope that I can come back with a lot of learning and experiential learning, of course, to bring back to the community into public policy. And I'm very excited for the future. And thank you to TAMIU and to the community again. So grateful. Thank you.
The certificate of recognition by Mayor and City Council hereby recognizes Adalberto Gonzalez, 2025-2026 President of Texas A&M International University Student Government Association, SGA, in recognition of your selection to participate in the 2025 World Affairs Councils of America Student Scholars Program and National Conference held in Washington, D.C., November 17, 2025. Signed, Mayor.
Alyssa's here.
Sorry. Directing.
Mayor. Mayor.
You want me to take a picture of yourself too? Oh yeah, turn up.
Yes. Is he come on?
Can I have you over here? Alrighty. 1, 2, 3.
You're good? Right over here.
1, 2, 3. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Right here. Right here with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Right here.
What is the group called? SGA? Yes. Mayor, would it be all right if we ask all of the SGA to come and take their photo while they're here? This is a youth group from TAMU, Student Government Association, and they are the group that has inspired this young man to be where he's at.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that. Come on down.
Any member of the SGA, come on up here, take a picture.
Senator.
All the senators? All the members? What's the members?
Where are the members?
I'm gonna go in there. That's it. That's all it's okay. Out there on 2 minutes.
Can I actually have you over here now? Yes. You can balance it out. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Mayor's.
Yeah.
Mayor. Over. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Right here. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
That's one. Thank you.
Continue, Bobby.
I still have this. All right, on the communications, there's one more item we need to say. Laredo Squadron 201 proclamation. I want to invite everyone to a special proclamation that I'm working on together with the Alcaldesa of Nuevo Laredo. This proclamation recognizes Águilas Aztecas, also known as the Mexican Squadron 201, which served as part of the United States Air Force's 58th Fighter Group during World War II. You heard correctly. This was a Mexican squadron that served alongside U.S. troops. Many of our public and maybe our youth do not know this important local history. In 1944, Squadron 201, made up of 300 airmen, including 36 pilots, marched across the International Bridge in Laredo, Texas, on their way to San Antonio, the Alamo City. They were deployed to the Philippines in 1945 to join the United States in combat against Japan. This is the only time Mexico has ever deployed troops on foreign soil. Their bravery earned the respect of General Douglas MacArthur, who recommended the squadron for medals, and in 1947 joined the United Nations, partly due to its wartime alliance and contributions. There is a deep and meaningful connection between Squadron 201 and Laredo and today. And I have invited someone who will speak further on this important chapter of her history. Please come on down.
Qué bendición estar con ustedes hoy. Voy a hablar en español.
Sí, cómo no.
Conocí al capitán en el 2001, serví en el ejército 20 años con la Guardia Nacional. Y uno como soldado siempre buscamos a nuestros héroes, porque soy mexicoamericano. Y la gracia de Dios se manifestó en la base en Canberra cuando supe que el capitán vivía en Austin, 82 años. Como dice el mayor, era un honor conocerlo. Para las generaciones nuevas no saben, pero México participó grandemente en las Filipinas con el general MacArthur, como dice, 334 soldados, 34 pilotos. Y el hecho de conocer al capitán fue algo histórico, pues fue íntimo amigo de Pedro Infante. Cuando lo traje a Laredo, lo recibió Betty Flores y Mercurio Martínez, y una gran ayuda de mi hermano, un señor querido, Sigua Benavides, que fue el que apoyó la operación en aquel tiempo. Fue y voló con su avión personal hasta Austin para traerlo a una ceremonia donde nos recibió Betty Flores y Mercurio Martínez, y apoyaron la operación de traer vehículos del museo a la ciudad de Austin, en donde cruzamos de Laredo, Texas, con vehículos alemanes, americanos, y 4 sobrevivientes del Escuadrón 201, uno de ellos Pedro Martínez, que traía la bandera que voló en las Filipinas. Fue un hecho histórico, y les pido, ya no están con nosotros ninguno de ellos, desafortunadamente fallecieron, Pero el decirles esto me emociona porque tuve el honor de estar con él 5 años. Nos acompañó en las bases con los soldados americanos. Estaba una división a punto de partir y nos invitaron. Y él habló antes de irse sus soldados a Irak. Y fue emocionante ver que todavía le quedaba su uniforme y trayendo la bandera de México. Especialmente a la altura de él, que le decía, su nombre era Pancho Pistones. Hay unos hermanos aquí que lo conocieron porque cuando lo traje aquí, ahí estaba Martínez. Entonces, soy iniciador del Air Show en el 99, el primer año. De ahí hice los 2 primeros años hicimos la Guardia Nacional. Después tuvo la Visión Laredo, que eso es lo que trato de traer para Laredo, historia. Algo que iniciador de esa obra, pues nos ha traído cada año una exhibición exitosa, en donde participaron cuando estaban en vida los Escuadrón 201. Y pues felicitárselos a ustedes. Es sorprendente para mí que el mayor haya hecho esta propuesta, la verdad no me lo esperaba, porque tengo un compañero, Doug, un historiador hermoso, tremendo, que nos va a ayudar a que se haga un museo y se pueda decir la historia del Escuadrón 201 como se debe decir. Ya había platicado con varios de los cónsules para este efecto, ¿verdad? Estamos en pláticas para la importancia de un museo. Es el siguiente paso, traer al Laredo algo que nos identifique, algo grande. Tengo compañeros, Flores también, que tiene un proyecto grande. Y los invito a que sean hacedores, ¿verdad? Lo mismo en la palabra de Dios. No nos podemos hablar la palabra, tenemos que ser hacedores de la palabra de nuestro Señor Jesucristo. Pero en este entorno los invito a que indaguen, ¿verdad? Que tenemos mucha historia. Nuevo Laredo, ellos marcharon por aquí, mis padres lo vieron marchar y fue algo emocionante ver a 334 soldados con sus fusiles y con la bandera de México cruzar de Nuevo Laredo a Laredo, Texas. Entonces ya pusimos el nombre de alto en nuestro México y esta es una oportunidad que nos da este pueblo de unir nuestras naciones. Con las diferencias que tenemos ahorita nos duele, pero nosotros ya hicimos el trabajo, ¿verdad? Y en esa actitud, como dice el mayor, Nuevo Laredo y Laredo, Texas, estamos iniciando y les pido su apoyo para decir la historia del 201. Yo, 6 o 5 años que estuve con el capitán, era un honor ir a las escuelas militares y los soldados se le paraban con su espada a recibirlo. Eso es algo que me ha llevado en el corazón y que tengo que decirlo. Fue la promesa que le hice al capitán de que su historia se iba a decir. Y un hecho tan importante que pasó en el 2001, yo venía de la base de Fort Hood a Austin, a Camp Mary. Nos habían destruido la primera torre, el primer avión había tocado y el segundo, meto a la base. A los 10 minutos del segundo avión tocar la torre, me habla el capitán Gallardo. Y me dice, me da instrucciones, quiero que hables con el general y quiero que le digas que estamos listos para ir a pelear con los hicimos en el 45. De ese calibre era el personaje, capitán Reinaldo Pérez Gallardo. A sus 84 años, cuando pasó ese incidente, estaba listo para ir a pelear por nosotros. Dijo, no podremos levantar, dijo, pero damos la sangre o lo que sea necesario. Es algo que no se sabe hasta ahorita, pero se los estoy contando porque yo viví esa epopeya con él, de acompañarlo a todos lados. Vino aquí en Laredo, Texas, con sus 4 sobrevivientes, con la bandera que voló en las Filipinas. Se me fue presentada y me dijeron, hace 60 años que México no ha hecho lo que tú has hecho en un día por nosotros. Y Laredo fue la ciudad que lo recibió con tanto amor, porque la verdad fue un honor tenerlo y lo hubiera querido tener yo, pero la verdad les comparto esto porque es algo tan importante, especialmente para mí porque yo soy soldado por 20 años y la identidad de nuestros mexicanos en el ejército, el americano siempre honra su historia. Y después de que nosotros que vino el capitán, se han hecho películas, se han hecho grandes epopeyas con la historia de ellos. Pero él siempre consideró un lugar muy especial, Laredo. Laredo lo recibió 2, 3 años, lo hicieron señor internacional, y de eso me acuerdo porque yo fui que lo propuse para que fuera señor internacional. Entonces, es un seguimiento de la historia, Les pido por favor que apoyen esta obra. Muchas gracias, señor mayor. Es un honor, no me esperaba esto, la verdad. Hemos estado peleando por un museo digno de Laredo. Como iniciador del Air Show, eso es una de mis aportaciones. Y en el 2001 cruzamos a Nuevo Laredo con vehículos de la Segunda Guerra Mundial, alemanes y los 5 sobrevivientes del escuadrón con la bandera de México. Mi pueblo se emocionó porque son los héroes que realmente tenemos que honrar. ¿Verdad? No haciendo menos a nuestros soldados, pero es algo que nos identifica y que les pido de mucho corazón que compartamos la historia de ellos, ¿verdad? Y eso es todo, señor presidente. Estamos a sus órdenes.
Muchas gracias por esa parte de la historia. Si nos agradece usted con su nombre, por favor, para el archivo.
Mi nombre es Omar Aguiar Pro y la fundación que tengo se llama Sociedad Binacional de Historia Mundial, con el coronel Douglas también, que es partícipe, historiador, que vamos a traer esto para... Y otro elemento que nos acompaña es mi hermanito Gustavo Flores, que tiene un sistema yo no sabía que en Laredo había esto ya, él tiene un centro de grabación de lo mejor del mundo para filmar, para discos, y estamos en un proyecto que después te lo voy a compartir. ¿Verdad? No quiero adelantarme, ¿verdad? Pero hay muchas cosas buenas para Laredo. Los invito a que seamos hacedores, ¿verdad? Hay grandes proyectos, pero no hay quien quiera hacer el trabajo, ¿verdad? Para mí es un honor estar aquí con ustedes. No me esperaba esto, fue muy rápido la respuesta de este joven. Y la verdad, pues los amo en Cristo, ¿verdad? Para mí es un honor estar aquí con ustedes y compartir esto. Buenas noches.
Muchas gracias. All right. We have another recognition under supplemental agenda. Recognition of La Reinera Bakery for its contribution as the oldest bakery in Laredo since 1928. Any other recognition?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Mr. King.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, got 2 recognitions. Sorry. Starting with item 53, which is a recognition of the United Day School 8th grade volleyball team for completing an undefeated historic season, capturing both the LISD/private school district championship and the all-city championship, which was hosted by UISD. The Lady Patriots secured their 2nd consecutive district title by defeating top city competitors, including the defending champions. Throughout the season, the team showcased exceptional skill, resilience, sportsmanship, and unity, bringing great pride to their school and community. This achievement made possible through the outstanding leadership of head coach Albert Laurel, and assistant coaches Selena Lopez and Alma Garcia. We thank you for guiding these young athletes to success. You can-
Mayor, if I may,
Go ahead.
just to recognize Councilman Buzzer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the record. First of all, congratulations for making Laredo proud. And we know that by this endeavors that you do, it's something that Laredo has to be noticed for. So congratulations for your endeavors and your triumphs. Thank you very much.
Many congratulations. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I went to public school. We would always say the private school kids just play each other and they win. You guys played against the public school kids and you won, so congratulations. Yeah, okay.
we need more? Mayor, can you all scoot over? More. Right there. Do they come up?
Yeah, you get over. Gonna cover a plane there. Y'all try to squeeze in as much as
Or do you
possible.
want to do 2 rows? Or? There you go, Doc. Right there.
Alrighty, 1, 2, 3.
We'll start over here. Right here with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Right here. Last one.
And do one more.
Oh, one more. You don't. You just want to sit up.
Russell.
Do you want to sit here or?
No one last one. Mayor, please, number 52.
Congratulations again. For the next item, it's a special item, item 54. This is recognizing our North Central Park grounds crew for in the most recent Dia de los Muertos event. They're constantly, anytime we have an event at North Central Park, they're out there making sure it's a clean, safe, beautiful environment for great events. And we just had our 3rd annual Dia de los Muertos event, which was a really beautiful experience. And we had it a lot tighter and a little bit more intimate setting that meant more for the holiday, and it was really sweet. So is our any of our staff here? I hate to. Okay, good. We don't want to keep you too much longer. 'Cause you're away from your family already. But we'll have you come up and just want to recognize Superintendent Calixto Flores Jr. Supervisor Juan P. Ballesteros. Yes. And then our crew leaders, Marco Marin and Frank Cantu. Okay, guapo. ¿Cómo estás? Hello. And and then lastly, crew members Javier Morales, Juan Barrera, Cristian Gonzalez, Ricardo Ramos, and Martin Paredes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, sure. Maybe.
Si pasamos acá para atrás, por favor, para tomarnos una foto.
Okay. Picture.
Coach, get in there.
Yeah, probably won't be on one and I'll be in the other.
Anita? No.
All right, there's a lot of you. So we're gonna, do you have like 2 rows of people if we can? 2 rows of people.
Mayor.
That way we can try to get everyone in there.
There you go.
I'm gonna need you in the front, sir. Yes, right there.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, we have everyone in the shot. Perfect. 1, 2, 3.
right here. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
There we go, 3, 2.
Any more pictures?
I'm going to take the mic real quick, guys. I'm going to take the time and advantage now that I have these gentlemen here in front of us.
Your name for the record, please.
J.J. Gomez, Parks Director. Thank you. This is just a group of men that do our hard work for our parks. They took care of North Central Park. As you know, it's a big park. It's not only District 6, it's everybody's. But they also represent all the other districts as well. All right, they represent, we don't call it North-South, it's just City of Laredo. And they do a great job. It's an honor to work with these men. They'll never tell you no. They're the first ones here, the last ones to leave. They'll go above and beyond. And that's what makes our department so successful. It's the boots on the ground. It's the boots on the ground that actually gets up there. And if it's an event, they take it with pride. And they take it, if it's about a park, they tell me, Coach, this park is better than my front yard and backyard. All right. And we have our challenges, of course. We have 122 parks. But with every day that these men come in, every day on weekends as well, ahorita les doy las gracias por personalmente a todos ustedes y todos los que no están aquí thank you for everything you do for the city. And, hopefully we can continue to make it better and all for not just the parks, but anything that we can do to make our city the best we can. Thank you, us.
And thank you, Dr. King, for bringing these fine gentlemen here. We recognize the work that they do. It's very tedious and hard, but thank you for bringing them. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gomez.
Mayor, can I bring the last communications item or the?
Yes, go ahead.
Recognition, I'm sorry. Well, we'll save the best for last, right? I want to recognize the Don Jose Gallego Lady Ligers volleyball team for their exceptional accomplishment as the 2024 fourth grade A Division undefeated city champions and the 2025 fifth grade A Division undefeated city champions. The team demonstrated outstanding teamwork, dedication, and sportsmanship, achieving back-to-back undefeated seasons and bringing pride to their school and their community. Thank you, girls. I'd like to recognize the principals, Amber Almaraz and Jose Lopez. Thank you all for being here. And I didn't get the names of the coaches, and I do want to get them, so I'll be right there. Congratulations, girls. Awesome job. Yes. Just a couple of words. Thank you for being here. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you. Girls, your demonstration of teamwork and hard work and everything that ends with work is good. So on your behalf, I thank you all for coming together as a team and playing hard. It was fun, right? Winning is fun, right? But I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on that. So from this point on, all of you, this is what's gonna happen for you for the rest of your life. I want you to look at each other and say to each other, you just joined the sisterhood. You are gonna be together for the rest of your life. You're gonna know about this. You're gonna be so proud of this moment for the rest of your life that you'll never forget it. But I want you to go one beyond. I want you to take care of each other and be sisters from this point on until you graduate high school, until you get old and ugly like me. Then you can know that you did something special for your school and for your city. And that's something that's very special in your heart and nobody can take it away from you. Congratulations, girls. I'm sorry. Coaches, I didn't get your name.
Football game.
Ms. Prado, how are you doing? Ms. Renaga? Jessica and I, thank you all so much for the effort that you put in every single day and giving it their best, because the only thing that I can say about me is that I coach boys and girls basketball and girls volleyball, but the best feelings that I got were when we took championship girls teams to volleyball tournaments and when we won. But the thing is that I always recognize that girls are better athletes than boys. And so I want to tell you that right now. So congratulations again.
Sure. City of Laredo, Mayor and City Council recognizes the Lady Lakers volleyball team. 2024 fourth grade A undefeated city champions. 2025 fifth grade A undefeated city champions. In honor of your dedication, teamwork, and excellence that inspires our community. November 17, 2025. Congratulations.
The principal's right there. All right.
Oh, now we get to take a picture.
Great work, girls.
Good job.
Great work.
Good job.
Girls, I'm gonna ask you to come
Yes.
forward, and Mayor Des Montes will be behind you.
Let's create 2 rows, that way everyone can be in the picture.
Can we, principal, right next to mayor, please. We have the principal. Let's do the team, and then
Yes.
we'll do the friends.
Alrighty, over here. 1, 2, 3.
You want to do one?
Oh, another one. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Right here with me. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Now you want to take the picture over here?
There we go. 3, 2.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Right here. You say you're ready? Right here. Did you have these pictures?
Thank you, parents.
Like your help.
Great work.
Thank you for representing so well. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't fall for being a great coach. Look at that. The guy's a great coach. Has been coach since he coached all the.
Great job, guys.
Comments. Oh, yes, citizen comments. All right. See that? Nice stuff. All right, we'll proceed now with citizen comments. Sister Rosemary Wells.
Well, this is a That's a pretty hard act to follow, all those wonderful people, so that's great, thank you. Honorable Mayor, let me get my little business here. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council and all the hard work that you do, thank you. The city manager and your wonderful staff, and all of us that are still here. God bless you. Anyway, thank you. My name is Sister Rosemary Welsh, and I am a proud member of the Sisters of Mercy. I'm here to address an issue that has caused great confusion for me and undoubtedly for many others. The issue is the community poll. This poll will cost us at least $50,000 according to the city manager's presentation on Friday. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think it might be a little waste of money. I believe we need to put our precious resources into things that actually strengthen our negotiation position, hiring the best people with proven legal and financial expertise. How does a poll help us strengthen that position? Does it give us information, financial information or environmental? We need to be spending the money on things that will help, such as finding a really good legal team, as I've already said, looking at environmental assessments, and I heard last week a really good comment. What is the financial accounting of the impact on the potential wall? I'm not sure we're thinking about that so much. This council and our community have demonstrated that we don't want a wall. We don't need a wall, given the historic low crossings in Laredo. This sign right here says it. We're the safest city in the state of Texas. Am I wrong, or that's true. And we're one of the safest in our country. So what I'm asking, we, the members of this community, have elected you, the leaders, to make good and difficult positions on our behalf. Please, my friends, we don't need a poll. You have the information. Make the decisions. And I brought a little thing with me. 5 years ago, we went through this, and we all wore this. It says, no border wall, protect our water. I think that's what we're asking you to do. We're trying to do it in a very respectful, kind, and appreciative manner. Please do your job. No wall. Protect our water and make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you. What is
Ricardo Quijano.
Ricardo Quijano, yes.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Ricardo Quijano. I have comrades from Vietnam and Afghanistan here, and Iraq, war veteran also. Al, gracias.
Thank you for your service, gentlemen, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me start. Greetings, Honorable Mayor and Council members. My name is Ricardo Quijano. I am with the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9194, and I'm also a representative in the City of Laredo Veterans Affairs Committee. On November 4th, 2005, the Veterans Affairs Committee held its monthly meeting, and unfortunately, I was not able to attend due to work taking me out of town to support our service members. And this gives me an opportunity right now to speak. Members, I want to thank the City of Laredo and all staff for making affordable housing possible in our community with tiny homes. I understand the Tiny Homes project started as an all-veteran community and manifested to a greater cause that included not only homeless veterans, but Laredoans who are also homeless in our community. Laredo and all agencies in the community have done an amazing job with the homeless veterans population. As of now, there are only 3 veterans that are homeless. 1 veteran does not comply or want to get housing. The other veteran is getting services through the Bethany House, and the other veteran, we're not sure if he already left or not. These numbers also fluctuate as the numbers have been low due to the amazing work that is being done. So once again, thank you. Regarding the veterans about the project, I want to emphasize that the VFW has been involved from the beginning. We held several meetings with Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Cervantes, and the Webb County Veteran Service Officer, David Garza. And when donations fell short, Ms. Rodriguez worked diligently to secure funding for affordable housing. In our discussions at the Community Development Department, we agreed that the project purpose is extended beyond serving veterans. It's about improving the quality of life for the entire community. I also recall Ms. Cervantes attending the City of Laredo Veterans Affairs Committee to provide updates, not for decision-making, but to keep everyone informed about the progress. As for the other issue that was said regarding the Veterans Committee, it was the museum. For over 20 years, there have been disagreements regarding the location. Some veterans have been waiting for more than 20 years for a museum, as many veterans have passed away not seeing a local museum come to life. With Commissioner Ricky Jaimes, Councilman Alisa Ciarroa, and all staff involved, it is coming. We thank you. Not only is the building going to be the museum, but it's also going to be an office for the Webb County Veteran Service Office, where veterans, dependents, surviving spouses, and service members can go and seek assistance. Mayor, the City of Laredo Veterans Affairs Committee is a mayor-appointed committee. We thank you and the previous mayor for bringing back the committee. We ask that you look into the committee, as there are members in the organization, in the committee, that we believe represent themselves. I am on the subcommittee to create bylaws. However, we already know that some members are not going to vote
Mayor,
on some
3
time.
minutes, Mayor.
15 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, wrap it up.
Thank you, council members, mayor. We already know that some members are not going to vote on some items. Some time ago, an item was brought that organizations bring in their monthly minutes to turn those minutes into the Veterans Liaison to ensure that veteran organization is not a one organization that is just in the committee for a vote but a committee that keeps its members informed. Okay? In all aspects that is happening in our community, that to ensure that the veterans organizations that are in the committee are nationally active, are nationally recognized, or 501c3 or 19, or active in our community. As members of the VFW, we have monthly meetings, and anyone can see our social media that we have been very involved with announcements and pictures of our meetings. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, council members.
Thank you.
That is it.
All right. Annie Serna.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council.
Evening.
My name is Annie Serna, and I have lived in Laredo all of my life, with the exception of the time that I spent in Austin at the University of Texas, where I majored in biology and with a special concentration in social welfare studies. I worked for the state of Texas for 30 years. I am here as a member of this community who is deeply interested in the fate of Laredo and the river and its rich ecological corridor, native habitat that it supports. You, as our decision makers, will play a critical role in that process with the border wall. I noticed that there were some videos of you presented trophies to the runners. Some of them were done by the river. I guess next time you're not either going to take it by the river or there will be a wall that will be coming out of the river. One of the items that has raised many questions and concerns in my mind is the community poll. Sociology major, okay? How can we trust a poll is going to be reliable or give us any useful information Would a poll focus on the thousands of residents in the 20 riverfront neighborhoods that will be directly impacted by the wall? Who should have the most to say with this issue? Are we only asking people who are informed about the issue? Or are you planning to ask people who are not informed? Will it be done online and then easily hijacked by trolls, bots, and people who don't even live in Laredo? Doing a reliable poll is an extensive process and an expensive one, and it won't give us any useful information we don't already have. I ask that you focus these funds onto other, more important experts that Laredo
Mayor, 3
needs
minutes are up.
at this
Thank you.
moment in time.
Go ahead,
My
Ceci.
grandmother and my mom had a saying, no hagan cosas buenas que parezcan malas. Gracias.
Thank you. Martín Castro.
All right, so good evening, Mayor, City Council, Martin Castro, Watershed Science Director at the Rio Grande International Study Center. For the record, I have a very short presentation for you tonight. We've spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks really diving deep into certain values of specific riverfront properties that we'd like to show you tonight. I'm going to try and go through this as quickly as I can in the time that I have. Some of this information you've already seen from a presentation I gave, excuse me, a couple of weeks ago. Some context here, of course. We all know on the 10th of October, Homeland Security announced the award of $4.5 billion in new contracts under the Smart Wall Initiative. And of course, these contracts included awards for 10 sectors from San Diego all the way to the Gulf. The proposed infrastructure for Laredo, the scope and locations. We know that Homeland Security is planning approximately 104.6 miles of new border wall in Webb County. Of course, these plans, as you now know, will affect residential areas, river access points, public parks, and other ecologically sensitive zones. So approximately 95, they're also proposing to install 95 miles of floating buoy barriers for Webb County. These, of course, would also span pretty much the entire county length of Zapata County. For additional reference, Homeland Security is also planning to install 24.7 miles of new wall in Zapata County and 56.5 miles of new buoys as well. So quite extensive systems in both counties. This slide here is essentially selected riverfront parcels, 8 of them specifically, showing the market values from Webb County Appraisal District data from 2025. So this is recent data. We actually reviewed this data from the appraisal district, and what we found was significant. In addition to these 8 parcels, you'll notice at the bottom, there's actually about 77, close to 80 parcels that the city owns that are all riverfront parcels that are intersecting or in the path of alignment for the border wall, as we understand it to be from Homeland Security's plans. The total value of all 77 riverfront parcels is about $90 million. These 8 parcels that I've selected here for your information is a total value is about $80 million. And that includes, of course, essential infrastructure and critical public assets like the ports of entry, World Trade Bridge, Columbia Bridge, water treatment facilities, and of course you also have recreational facilities like the Max Golf Course and some of our more well-known parks. These are not really just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're really core pieces of the city's economy public services, recreational spaces, and of course, water infrastructure. The estimated, again, market value for all 77 city-owned riverfront properties.
Yes.
I'm wrapping up.
Okay.
Is about $90 million, okay? This spreadsheet here comes straight from the appraisal district. It's not very sexy looking, but this is what data actually looks like when you're looking at this information. The column to the right are the market values for the city owned parcels that I'm discussing here. These are renderings that we've done for Tres Laredos Park, showing what is more representative of the actual sort of infrastructure, what it would look like on the ground. Here's a rendering of the area between bridges 1 and 2. If you're wondering why sort of the dramatic sort of impact here on the ground, if you're wondering why it looks that way, we know what it looks like in Zapata County because these are actual photos downstream of Zapata County. You'll notice the photos, you'll notice the easement that they take up on both the security enforcement zone, which is off limits to the public on both sides. You'll notice just how wide it is, 150 feet on each side. So it truly will look, to our understanding and our knowledge, this way for these selected riverfront properties. And of course, the buoys, which we're all familiar with, located upstream in Eagle Pass. I'm on my last 2 slides. The background on the source data, of course, we know that the Webb County has this appraisal district data. So we filtered, again, these riverfront parcels that intersect with the wall. We already talked about the types of infrastructure that we identified. So these are the assessment values that have been assigned to each riverfront parcel property based on 2025 market values from the appraisal district. And of course, the spatial data from Homeland Security, Smart Wall Map. There is no universal formula that exists for estimating wall-related property devaluation, but research has shown that there are some municipalities, for example, in Arizona, California, that there's estimated land value losses that have reached 30% or higher in some cases. But these numbers really understate the true cost when you factor in public lands, parks, or riverfronts and how they're affected. So it's not really about today's market value. It's about future unrealized potential. What the wall will prevent the city of Laredo when we talk about activating, or fully activating riverfront land, whether that's expanded recreational opportunities, ecotourism, redevelopment, or other private-public partnerships that would increase the tax base over time. Okay, we did look at congressional supporting research through some government reports on border wall land acquisition from the Congressional Research Service. We looked at the Government Accountability Office. We looked at final assessments, environmental assessments from Homeland Security. We also looked at articles detailing impacts to property values to come up with this assessment.
All right, okay, please wrap it up, okay?
And finally, these are just some of the maps showing the impact, the market values to some of these facilities, El Pico, Father McNaboe Park. And that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Monica Franz Rodriguez.
Good afternoon. My name is Monica Franz Rodriguez for the record. My comments are a continuation of Friday's meeting, and I'm very disheartened that the people, the very vocal voices that were here Friday are not here tonight. What I noticed on Friday was that most people were really hanging their hat on the fact that Laredo's considered or has been named the safest city in the state. But I have a couple of questions about that. I don't doubt it, and my respects to the police department, but my question to you is based on what data? And if the city is safe today, is it guaranteed to be safe tomorrow? Or the real question I have for all of us is it because Governor Abbott deployed state and federal agencies to our borders, which are no cost to the city of Laredo and have created an economic boost? So here's my concern. My absolute concern is safety. So the renderings that city manager shared were from 2008. So if there was a threat in 2008, I'm here to remind us all that the threat is even greater. If you see, our world stage has gotten hotter and more aggressive. You'll see the technology that the cartel is using now with submarines, tunnels, technology, drones. These are things that you are familiar with. And so I want to bring an awareness to everybody. Even though I believe in limited government, and I do, I absolutely do. I believe in limited government with the exception of protecting our citizens. I believe, and we all should, that our citizens should be protected. If we are not protected, and heaven forbid something should happen, heaven forbid, but it is a possibility and all of you have to recognize that. Ask any Laredoan, when's the last time you went to Nuevo Laredo? Oh no, it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous. That is just 200 feet across the river. So it would be very naive for us to think there is no threat. So when it comes to safety, I say there is an obligation at all levels, including the municipal level, city level, county level, state, and federal. I am grateful that we do have these mechanisms in place. I support a system that uses all. Now, if you'll see my card, I'm neutral on a border wall because I'm neither for or against, but I am for 100% security. Because if there is not security, fishing, kayaking, and ecosystems, like I said, I didn't finish my statement, if heaven forbid, fishing, kayaking, and ecosystems are totally irrelevant. And if we act after the fact, guess what? It's too late. And so it's important. It is beyond important, and we're losing sight of that. So for the pleasure of Ms. Figueroa, I just want to define a word. Fiduciary, in simple terms, according to AI, fiduciary is a person that puts their own interest aside before the others. I lost my train of thought. God bless Laredo, honestly. God bless the USA, and please, that is our number one priority, the safety of our citizens.
Thank you. Jose Salazar.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. My name is Jose Salazar. I'm the Webb County Republican Chair. I'm in favor of the agenda item 47 in commencing negotiations with the city manager and Homeland Security in building our wall, something that we do need. It is a great way to to get into conversation with the federal government and let them know what we need and where we need it. We don't need a structure everywhere, I believe, in Laredo, but there are some areas that we do. We don't need the same type of structure that was shown a while ago. There's different types of structures, and wherever we need a different type of structure that's not that obtrusive or anesthetic or whatever, we can have something that's a little bit nicer. Now, we come back to also the fact that we are the safest city or one of the safest cities in Texas. I believe so. I feel safe in my own city. Thank the police department, thank the sheriff's department, Border Patrol. We have FBI here, we have DEA. We also have National Guardsmen who are located here in Laredo. So due to all that, we are very, very safe, I believe. We did have, in 2020, a very horrible record of disorder on the border, where we saw, unprecedented numbers of illegal immigrants crossing, and also drugs, including fentanyl. I know we have a big increase of overdose deaths here in Laredo, that numbered into the 40s, and I think that there was concern, but not at the onset of when we started seeing the drugs coming over into the border. So that there, and also knowing that we do live in a very safe city, I noticed that just about every house has a wall. Every house has some sort of structure. Every house has we have doorbell cameras, and this is for our own neighbors, people in our neighborhood, or people who might drive from one neighborhood to another neighborhood, and we still don't remove those structures because they make us feel safe. The same thing for our nation. And I talk to a lot of people who don't like the wall, but they want to keep their walls there because it makes them feel safe. The same thing here for our city and for our community. I think it's also good that you have to enter into conversation with the federal government, because it allows them to know what problems we actually have aside from this, because we have many, many problems here. We're $1 billion in debt. We have water infrastructure problems. We have water quality problems. We need a secondary water source. So there are many pressing problems that we have. I also want to mention that when working with other
Mayor, 3 minutes are up, Mayor.
when working with other with other administrations, whether they're Democrat or Republican, I think it also puts the city in the forefront, in a place where we can actually improve our standard of living, something that we need to do so here in our city, which I truly love. So I hope that we continue and we enter in good faith with conversations with the federal government and do everything that is possible to protect our community. And that as far as a poll is concerned, I think we had the biggest poll, and it went on for over 2 weeks. It was called the election, and we all voted in 2024 for Donald J. Trump here in this town. And in 2015, we didn't know who Donald Trump, what he actually stood for. In 2020, we got a better idea of what Donald Trump really wanted. In 2024, we were sure. And this includes in South Laredo, in parts of East Laredo, a lot of people came out for Donald Trump. So I think the poll has been answered. We do want a border wall, some kind of obstacle. We do want safety, and we do want this for our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Mayor, those are all the public comments, Mayor.
All the public comments, thank you.
Mayor, motion to open up public zoning, public hearing, and introductory ordinances 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
First public hearing, Mayor, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol on Lot 3B, Block 1, San Isidro, Loop 20, commercial plat located at 2517 Northeast Bob Bullock Loop, Suite 106. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed special use permit. Staff supports the application. Number 3, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning Lot 1, Block 1, Andres Cuevas subdivision located at 8221 San Dario Avenue from B3 Community Business District to B4 Highway Commercial District. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change. Staff supports the application. Public hearing number 4, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a special use permit for a smoking establishment, cigar lounge, with on-premise alcohol consumption on Lot 3B, Block 1, Laredo Arena Subdivision, Unit 4, located at 2411 Jackman Road, Suite 400, approximately 1,469 square feet. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the special use permit for a smoking establishment, cigar lounge only, no on-premise alcohol consumption. The P&Z Commission also recommended approval of the applicant's request to amend conditions 3, 4, and 5 as follows. Condition number 3, amend the hours of operation to extend Thursday hours from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Condition number 4, amend the minimum age requirement for patrons from 18 years old to 21 years old. Condition number 5, amend the minimum age requirement for patrons from 18 years old to 21 years old.
Mr. Maldonado, Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
I need to interrupt on that one. On the condition on number 5, there's an amendment on that. No one under the age of 21 will be allowed inside unless otherwise accompanied by their parent. That's the amendment on that, on number 5. Because you can see 4 and 5 are the same, they're repetitious.
On condition number 5.
Yes, correct.
Staff does not support the application. Public hearing number 5, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning lots 9 and 10, block 2031, Eastern Division, located at 3214 and 3216 Santa Barbara Street, from R3 Mixed Residential District to B1 Limited Business District. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. Public hearing number 6, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning Lot 6, Block 666, Eastern Division, located at 1206 East San Carlos Street, from R3 Mixed Residential District to B1 Limited Business District. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. Number 7, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a conditional use permit for a commercial parking lot, cars, on Lot 1, Block 432, Eastern Division, located at 301 West Olive Street. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed conditional use permit, and staff supports the application.
All right, we'll start with number 2. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. Number 3, for or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. Number 4, for or against? For or against? For or against?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Why? Ms. Guerra, thank you so much. What's the reasons that we're behind, not behind this, it's Cigar Lounge? I'm reading it's Cigar Lounge with no permission, alcohol, just consumption, just, it's gonna be cigars or?
Oh, yes, they're proposing a smoking establishment cigar lounge with on-premise consumption of alcohol. And were you asking about why we're not in
This says
favor?
permission alcohol consumption, yeah. So we're gonna have, so we're not allowing them to, to get alcohol or at all, or? Is it that
Planning
they
and
don't
Zoning
qualify?
Commission recommended approval of the special use permit for the smoking establishment with no on-premise consumption.
Do you have the map?
We sure do.
I don't know, but I know it's, I'm just trying to figure out, because I'm not trying to. I understand there's an ordinance, but we gotta understand, we also gotta be, business friendly, see how much we can help them out as much as they can, because they're investing money back into the city. So. Can you just show me the map?
Sure. Do you want an aerial or?
Yeah, it's fine. This is just between,
If you see, it's on Jackman Road between Arena Boulevard and Sinatra Parkway. So, just to review, the reasons why we were unable to support, the use with on-premise consumption is in non-conformity with the health code. The health code doesn't allow for smoking in places that serve alcohol. So, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is it doesn't meet the 800-foot requirement for smoking establishments. Must be 800 feet from, let's see, 800 feet has to be 800 feet from any residential zone district, a church, a public or private elementary, a high school, a daycare, a college or university, a public playground, park, or stadium.
so what else is there around? I'm just curious to know.
Sure.
What other restaurants are around that sell alcohol and have businesses around the area?
So there are, I'm assuming there are restaurants that sell alcohol or bars. However, for smoking establishments, that's the definition, the difference. If you're a smoking establishment, the health code does not allow you to serve alcohol. The minute you serve alcohol, under the health code, you become a bar, and at that moment, you can now no longer smoke.
Just, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Guerra, good evening. Knowing that it interferes with the code and with ordinance, this does not restrict for the applicant to apply?
No.
Is this?
No, they can apply for the smoking establishment. Council has considered many smoking establishments that don't meet the performance standards under the code, which this one doesn't.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Guerra, that answers my question.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
So will the recommendation then, going forward, be to allow this special use permit under the conditions that are presented here?
The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of the cigar lounge only with no on-premise alcohol consumption. They did recommend in favor of the amendments of the conditions that you see in your packet, and with all the remaining conditions that are listed as staff recommended.
So if we were to move to approve, it would be with those conditions?
If
way it's
you
written
so
here.
choose.
Yes, okay, just want to make sure, thank you.
Just one more thing, so they can come back and change it over to, once it opens under these conditions, they can come back and refile with you under a bar establishment, let's say, like you called it. Just that it seems to me that it's, by definition, it's really mixed use in that area. There's 2 restaurants and bars in that area that allow smoking, obviously outdoors.
The thing, I guess the thing is.
Mayor, if I may interject,
Go ahead.
this isn't my district, and I've spoken to the owner, Mr. Trevino, about it several times. The issue with this is that we would be violating health and safety code, which is not this council, previous council has approved. And if we allow this to happen with alcohol and smoking, every other bar is going to ask for the same thing. And there will be no recourse for us to say no. We won't be able to. Right now, we're abiding by the law. It is the law. That is what it states in 2 different areas of our code, of our ordinances here, not to mention health and safety code. So it'd be difficult to approve this with alcohol. Now, not to say that this council can't work on something to exempt a cigar lounge and exempt them to be able to serve alcohol in the future. There's nothing that says that we simply can't do that. But for now, my recommendation is going to be to allow it to close and introduce as presented with no premise alcohol consumption.
Second?
Councilman, go ahead.
And I'm not trying, step on anybody's district, and what I'm just trying to be more, business friendly, and by all means, Councilman Gutierrez, you can approve it, and, you have my full support, but it's just trying to see the best, the investment that the gentleman or the property owner has done to make sure that we give them the best opportunity to succeed in our city. So that's all.
Yeah, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll say, I think it's clearly a unique situation. I mean, I think there might be one example I can think of, a cigar shop on McPherson and just north of Del Mar that does it have alcohol consumption? No. No, right? So I think it's like a unique thing that, like Councilman Gutierrez suggests, we should, or could, if wanted to, address so that we don't start a cascade effect where the whole point of preventing smoking in indoor spaces and then make it very unique niche thing that people can take their risk at a smaller level. Because yes, we have to be business friendly, but we also have to look out for public health, and so it's about, and follow our ordinances as they are written if the best we can. So
Councilman, go ahead. All right, we have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh.
Second.
That was the second.
There was a comment from the.
Somebody like to speak on the item? Please.
Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead, before we vote on it.
May I have the projector, please? Just place it on there? Okay. Will do. All right, so good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, and city management. For the record, my name is Jeronimo Trevino, And as the applicant, I am here requesting approval of this special use permit for a smoking establishment. It is my position and understanding that the Land Development Code is the controlling authority when determining the appropriate use of the land. In this case, the proposed use is a cigar lounge that requires a smoking establishment special use permit located within the entertainment district under B4 zoning. Ordinance 153 of 2014 introduced three distinct definitions into Appendix A of the Land Development Code: a smoking establishment, a drug and tobacco paraphernalia shop, and a tobacco shop. Each appears on its own line item on the special use permit application. An important distinction because these terms are often incorrectly used interchangeably. To summarize the definition of a smoking establishment, cigar lounges, including those that allow on-premise consumption of alcoholic beverages, are permitted provided the establishment has a dedicated HVAC system and alcohol sales do not exceed 50% of quarterly gross sales. Planning and zoning suggests that on-premise alcohol consumption is prohibited for smoking establishments, yet the Land Development Code clearly states otherwise. The issue arises from P&Z combining language from the Code of Ordinances with language from the Land Development Code, creating a prohibition that this council has never actually ordained. Specifically, P&Z is referencing Chapter 15, Article 6 of the Code of Ordinances from 2004, the No Smoking in Public Places Ordinance, containing very broad definitions, including bar, defined simply as any area dedicated to serving alcohol. This is different from the type, from the 2013 Land Development Code amendment that defines a bar as a business type, including its objective to have more than 50% of alcohol sales. These differing contexts are being conflated, leading to incorrect conclusions. Although I do not agree that these ordinances conflict and should be commingled, even if they did, Section 24-60 of the Land Development Code states that the most stringent regulation prevails. Section 24-93.6 and 24-93.12 provide strict operating conditions, enforcement mechanisms to include daily monetary penalties. In addition, TABC and ATF regulations must also be followed. Plus, the city may request proof at any time to ensure that alcohol sales remain below 50%. These are far more stringent than the general language of the 2004 ordinance. So briefly regarding staff's 3 points to not support, one, residential proximity. The residential zone is within 800 feet, is undeveloped and vacant with no foreseeable development indicators. Furthermore, I am simply requesting fairness through the treatment of likes and similars. A hemp dispensary, a drug and tobacco paraphernalia shop, operates in the adjacent building and is subject to the same 800-foot requirement. It has been in operation since 2021, and the 2003 change that changes it from 300 feet to 800 feet only applies to tobacco shops, as the other two tobacco businesses have always been 800 feet, reflected in this ordinance 141 of 2023. Number two, parking, 2 units between my proposed business and the next are vacant, and there are 12 parking spots immediately bordering the premises to adequately address the 7. And condition 20, the wording just should not exist, as it introduces a prohibition of on-premise alcohol consumption that is not supported by the Land Development Code as it pertains to a smoking establishment. With all that said in mind, I respectfully request that the council concur with the committee's recommendation to approve the special use permit with the amended conditions for 3, 4, and 5, and further approve the removal of condition 20 and any language suggesting that on-premise alcohol consumption is prohibited. This is a responsibility I fully understand and accept for myself, my district, my city, as I bring forward this new type of business that is compliant in all aspects. So pending any questions, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor?
Go ahead.
Just, first of all, Mr. Trevino,
Sir.
kudos to you. That was an excellent, presentation. And I just want to hear from legal and city and to respond to that, because there was a lot said there. Some of it sounded pretty convincing, but, and of course, I'm curious what Councilor Gutierrez thinks, but could there be any response to, that was a lot, so, yeah.
Yes, we have reviewed this in legal. And he's correct that the more stringent definition would control. And the more stringent definition is the health code, not the land development code. The land development code deals with 51% or higher, whereas the health code says no smoking when alcohol is consumed. So there's no SUP that could be granted here tonight where you would also not, I'm sorry, I don't want to say double negatives. If you grant this SUP, you will be violating your health code. So I believe that you need to, if you want to carve out the exception in the future, to change some ordinances, and SUP is not going to be able to band-aid it.
And Mayor, just to give Mr. Trevino kind of an idea of, he may already know because he seems well-studied, but how long, if this council moves to do that, how many meetings and how long would it take for us to be able to do that and then him to reapply? And what's, I know time is money, so what's the, yeah.
It would take 3 readings for a new ordinance, so we need to propose that ordinance and then have the drafts done so that we can have 1, 2, 3 readings and a new.
And if we granted it without alcohol tonight, he could move forward with opening, operating, and then simultaneously begin, if we do what was just mentioned, he could then go through the process of applying for the potential carve-out.
Right, with the new ordinance.
Okay.
That would allow for it, yes.
Okay, understood.
All right.
May I, please, one more, go back to these definitions here of the Code of Ordinances.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you look at how it's defined, like I said earlier, it's any area devoted to serving alcohol. I mean, if you look at how bars using any of all the other definitions, shall not include a bar, shall not include a bar, versus the definition of a business bar. I mean, like I said, or like the definition of any area that you serve alcohol can be deemed a bar, but not necessarily as a business. It's just a location within the establishment. And that's when smoking was eradicated from indoors in 2004. So they had to identify specific areas, not necessarily the business. So I don't agree that it's being read, it's being read incorrectly in my opinion. It's right there. These are from the Code of Ordinances. It's a bar versus the bar. And plus, why do we have the definition from 2014? Why are they on the special use application? You're setting us up for failure.
Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
I think Mr. Trevino's was explained, we are looking at the more stringent code, which we've been advised is the health code, and it will require this council to go back and look at the health code, and I do think you see a lot of interest in council going back to do that. But if you were to argue that the land use code was the more stringent, then that 800-foot prohibition, which this council did vote for in 2023, would also prevent the establishment, not because we recognize that the residential area is undeveloped, but because that code says 800 feet is 800 feet. So there isn't a good basis. It's either prohibited through the land use code or prohibited through the health code. But I do think that the council is willing to allow for this special use to occur on the tobacco side of it and then revisit the health code issue that we have. I believe that this council feels that allowing smoking in bars and in areas that are bars is a bigger issue than the one shop. And as Councilmember Gutierrez suggested, it would create a cascading effect. So when we proceed to perhaps look at special uses, we have to understand the other effects it could have on the rest of the businesses that do serve alcohol. So I apologize. I am very interested in this business model that you have, but we are confined, in my opinion, by what our ordinances say.
I agree with you when it comes to bars, but it's not a bar. It's by definition a smoking establishment. And stringent does not mean no. Stringent is restricted. And there's nothing more restricted than the Land Development Code saying you have to do this, this, and that. And by all means, check up on me, as you should. The primary business is not alcohol. It's cigars, it's tobacco. It's not a bar. And I keep having to argue that because everyone else wants to call it a bar, but it's not by definition. It's not a bar. Never will be. I don't want it to be a bar. I never have.
Mayor, may I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and agreed that, that there's a difference between a cigar lounge and a cigar bar. I think most people confuse both, you know, because I've frequented cigar lounges that don't serve alcohol, you know, and I can see the difference between what you're saying. So, I mean, I think it merits further study. I think it requires further study so that these are viable questions that you brought up. And I just think right now, from my point of view, is that we need to get you going, you know, so that you can open up and get your business going and get your business model going. But we do need to revisit this, and it might require a little bit more for you to come back and revisit this issue with all of us.
Go ahead.
And I'll say, for the upcoming, our next meeting's December 1st. We have until Wednesday of this week to put new agenda items for that. I think it sounds like there's some interest in doing that and moving forward with the 3 meetings that are required. If there's any special meetings along the way to get some extra readings in up until January, you know, I'm sure this council is going to be interested in solving this. So we have to ultimately, you know, go with what our city attorney is recommending, and you know, not to say that anyone can be wrong, or but ultimately, I think the council will go with our city attorney and just understand that it's not that we don't value what you're doing.
Go ahead, Mr. Zong.
With all due respect, I think what we're arguing against each other, but what's going on is that I believe Mr. Trujillo was saying that his establishment is different. Unfortunately, under our health code, by serving alcohol, you're going to be termed a bar under our health code as it exists now. So it's not like, you know, one's wrong, one's right. It's just we need to change the law. I think you're arguing for a change in our health code, but our health code doesn't say what you're saying. So that's what needs to be done. So if council wishes, we just need to change the health code. But as of right now, the health code just says you serve alcohol as a bar, even though your establishment, your business model is different.
So it's city stance that stringent means no. Stringent does not mean restricted as it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm sorry. So stringent, we're talking about like when there's 2 definitions, it's the one that's harsher. That's what's right. We're talking about here. Not the stringent as far as which one applies more to your business than the other. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, 4 against? We did. Okay.
There was already a motion, a second by Mr.
We have a motion.
Okay.
Motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 5. 4 are against, 4 are against, 4 are against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion? And second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Opposed?
So,
Oh, go ahead.
hello, how are you? My name is Sherry Macias. Good afternoon to everybody.
Afternoon.
Okay. My name is Sherry Macias. My father's name is Roberto Macias. We're from the south side. We have a grocery store named Macias Drive-In. We've been active for 45 years. Proud and glad to say that we've become part of the community and our neighbors and our customers. I noticed that within the years, I need them as much as they need us. We've become the heart of a lot of people and the help of others. As for myself, I already worked for more than 15 years to the government, and I've been independently working for my father for 13 years. I've been working at the store since I was 8 years old, including for the rest of my siblings and nephews, which now is why I think it's very important for us to become a commercial zoning for the future of our children. And all of our nephews and children are studying and still at TAMIU, and some even at early college. Some even already graduated and have bachelors and masters. My brother, Bobby Macias, a legendary DJ from Laredo, Texas, and his family in the music industry in McAllen and Laredo, Texas. And so we've all ended up becoming business persons. especially self-employed. My parents want to retire soon, and I want to remain running the family business in the future. However, my dad he's been, desde que está su papá, y aquí les tengo un poquito de todo, desde su papá a ser negociante, a nosotros, a sus hijos, a nuestros nietos, sus nietos, que son nuestros hijos, y realmente ahorita nosotros estamos bien contentos con nuestra tienda. We're proud to say, and we help out our community. We also hacemos mucho para el barrio de nosotros en Santo Niño, everything. Right now, we're stable as we are, pero it's very important for my dad, por tantos años de sacrificio, de nos dar grandfathered in for us to be a commercial zoning. That way, not right now, but for the future of our kids, puedan tener quieren hacer oficinas, abogados, quieren hacer lo que sea, un community center. You know, we could do a lot of things. We have a lot of them in the community. Yes, and I'm very proud to say that he's on the south side, and from Macias Drive-In, 45 years, dándole servicio al barrio y ayudándole a todos los que se puedan y que necesiten ayuda, y estamos para ayudarlos.
Mayor,
Por eso quiero ser comerciante.
Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí y muchas gracias, Señor, por haber establecido su negocio. Eso de proveer mandado a la comunidad, especialmente en un lugar, me imagino en aquel tiempo no hubo otro alternativo que estaba muy cerca, y es un negocio muy importante para la gente, para gente que ya es tan grande y que no pueden manejar bien, suficiente grande que no quieren manejar en muchas partes con este tráfico que tenemos. Así que estar establecido adentro de la comunidad es muy importante, es un servicio muy grande y lo aprecio, y muchas gracias por estar ahí todavía sirviendo su comunidad.
Yes.
Gracias.
Muchas
gracias. I see Ms. Macias, and I remember my childhood, walking from my grandmother's house all the way to Mr. Macias to go by. Ms. Macias, you can recollect. You always had fun. You always, made us great service. Siempre el servicio de ustedes fue ayudar a la comunidad de nosotros. Dar cada día dulces para los niños. No tenías melofías, sí, ven barato. Es una memoria muy bonita que todo el barrio Santo Niño recuerda. Era la tienda más cerca de nosotros, de parte de Narváez, eran de Macías. Siempre tuvimos todos los salidas de la escuela, siempre estuvo lleno. You always provided for kids, siempre los dieron a todos. Tenemos recuerdos, yo partemente, que no es mi distrito, es mi Cigarroa, pero yo, de verdad, Ms. Macías, muchas gracias. Si quisiéramos darle recognition por todo esas memorias son ciertas, yo las vi. Ya fue mi familia Rangel, que vive una 2 cuadras.
Para nosotros hacemos una legacy.
Sí, para nosotros sí. Muchas gracias por todo lo que hizo por la comunidad del Santo Niño, y se lo agradecemos bastantes. Y muchas felicidades.
Gracias. Gracias a todos.
Thank you. Okay. All right, motion second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 6, 4 are against, 4 are against, 4 are against.
Motion to close and introduce?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 7, 4 are against, 4 are against, 4 are against. Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure that for the conditional use permit, that it's strictly a parking lot, correct? No, there
Yes.
can be no other
Yeah,
use
it's just a parking
prohibited?
lot. It's just for their employees and their staff.
Okay, I mean,
Their customers.
I did see in the criteria that there will be no junk cars allowed, no mechanic operations,
Yeah,
auto repair.
We were worried about the same thing, no abandoned vehicles, junked or wrecked cars, heavy equipment, Parking has to be kept within the property boundaries, no auto body repair. We tried to cover everything.
Okay, great. I just wanted to double check on for.
Yeah, storage of fluids, lubricants, materials, equipment also prohibited, so it's pretty extensive. There's a lot there.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll close the.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Public hearings and introductory ordinance.
Number 8, public hearing and introductory ordinance authorizing the city manager to decrease the reported amount of $2,623,991 in AS 400 for the amount of $89,939 to match the approved amount allocated by the Commission of State on State Emergency Communications on the amount of $2,534,052 to fund the 911 program and equip the South Texas region, including Jim Hogg, Starr, Webb, and Zapata counties for the period beginning September 1, 2026 through August 31, 2027. Ordinance number 9. An ordinance of the City of Laredo, Texas, amending ordinance number 2019-0111, the City of Laredo Priority Procedures Handbook for the City Council and City Boards, Commissions, and Committees, amending Roman numeral 1, Commissions and Board created by Charter, City of Laredo, 1995, letter E, across the board requirements for members and commissions and board created by Charter. 1, qualifications, Roman numeral 5, across the board requirements for commissions, boards, committees. Letter G, residency, in order to create continuity and clarity on who may serve, providing for a cumulative clause, providing severability clause, and declaring an effective date.
Right. Next is introductory ordinances.
Council to introduce number 10, introductory ordinance.
Number 8.
I'm sorry, run 8?
Number 8.
Oh, sorry, 4 against, we had 4 against them, okay.
For and against mayor.
All right, for or against, for or against, for or against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Second. Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9.
Mayor, public hearing number 9, we have some information for council, if I may.
Yes, go ahead. He has some information.
Here's an amendment of order.
Okay, Mayor, on the previous city council, staff was directed to change the resident requirements for the committees and boards from 5 years to 2 years. And what we have here are the requirements for across the board, requirements for members and of the commissions and board created by charter. Qualifications shall be an American citizen, shall have resided within the City of Laredo limits for at least 2 years, which is what being recommended, shall be qualified city registered voters, and shall not be employed by the city in any capacity nor hold any other city office. The 2 years, Mayor, and council, that was a directive by council. Staff is recommending to change that to 1 year instead of 2 years. We want to make that proposal to the council, and at the same time, have the qualifications consistent with the rest of all the other committees that exist in the city of Laredo for them to be consistent. These are the current requirements for across-the-board commissions, boards, and committees that are not created by charter, are basically generally the mayor and shall appoint city residents, and council members will appoint residents of the respective districts, but shall honor resident requirements specified in the enabling authority that creates or extends a commission, boards, and committee. We're recommending for the requirements to be consistent for all committees that are not created by charter.
Mayor, motion to adopt staff recommendations as well with this ordinance.
Motion second?
Mayor, we just wanted to add one thing. We do have a few committee members that are members in one or two committees. They're very few. And we would propose to allow those committee members to continue serving your terms. And once your term expires, then whoever comes in, they would have the same requirements that they cannot hold any other office in another committee.
Staff recommendation as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
So just to be clear, this is only the commissions, boards, and committees that are created by the city.
Correct.
Not something made by state statutes.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
because we have some.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
all right. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Mr. Maldonado, is it common in other cities that members are only allowed to serve on one committee?
It's up to the council's recommendation.
But that's the recommendation from management, that it's just one?
Yes.
Because I know there are some committees that just do not meet very often.
Right.
And I guess it'll be a discussion between the prospective committee member and their council member, whether, they want to be just on call versus being involved in another committee. Okay.
So we will make the amendment and bring back the final ordinance with 1 year.
So do we need to table this one for now?
No.
It's an introductory ordinance.
It's an
We just need to
introductory,
get it
correct.
on the table with these recommendations.
All right. So have a motion and a second? Go ahead.
Could you list out what the amendments that are going to be coming back are?
Basically, the amendments, the amendments are here. The only thing that will change will be from 2 years, will change to 1 year.
Oh, and that's the only change?
That's the only change, yes, ma'am. And that's consistent also with the requirements for city council members. Council members must reside in the city 1 year.
1 year.
All right. This one. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mayor, correction, excuse me. For council to introduce number 10, no motion required. Motion to approve third and final readings 11 and 12.
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to approve final reading of ordinances 13 and 14.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to approve the consent agenda
Minus 17?
minus 17.
Okay.
Mayor, we have an amendment, Mayor, on number 25, if I may.
25.
Number 25.
The amendment.
Okay. On number 25, the 1,019,550 should be 934,708. That's the discounted price that I'm giving you. Then the 2,012,771 should be 1,954,975. That's a discounted price also. And the 2.381247 should be 2,244,217. The grand total is the same.
Okay. Motion to accept the amendment on number 25.
And with a cooperative fee of $2,000.
Second. Okay. Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, now the motion to approve the consent agenda excluding number 17 and 29.
17 and 29. Motion excluding 17 and 29.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
17.
17, Mr. Maldonado, I'd like to recuse myself from that vote.
Yes. On 17.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to approve number 17.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
29. Who has
Mayor,
29?
may I?
Okay. Go ahead.
So this item I wanted to just exclude it and quickly have a conversation about I know that this had come before council at the request of a council member, but, and I can appreciate the sentiment, but we had already approved a plan for, an annual plan for this year regarding the Laredo Public Arts Program, and I just.
I'm sorry, which one is that?
So this is
29.
29. So it has to do with the public art annual plan, and this is an amendment. And the amendment's being brought forward because of a previous council request. But I would hope that we could maybe consider tabling this item, or, well, we'll just, I want to, wait, can you hold on before we, just so I can explain why? Because I think it's important to respect the process when it comes to this program, in the sense of when we bring an idea forward, that it be considered for future, the following year's annual plan, rather than interrupting a plan that has already been approved. And because then that just sets a terrible precedent amongst all of us, in the sense of every time we bring an idea forward, that it would automatically just happen.
It just gets approved.
And it just gets approved, rather than working with the commission within a plan, within a planning process. And again, it may not be approved the following year, but just wanting it to be a comprehensive and inclusive process for the funding that's available for the arts within our community.
Okay.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
Mayor, I can speak to this. This definitely is, well, this is on me in that sense. So I brought this item up a couple months ago, and the motion, because there was a gentleman in the community who offered to sponsor this water tower. And it's a blank water tower that is near North Central Park. Most other towers have some form of mentioning of a high school, or so. Instead of a corporate sponsorship, I thought, well, maybe public art could be a use. So, at the item that I had when it came up, my motion was to forward it to the Public Art Advisory Committee, the Art Advisory Committee, to go through the channels and to be considered. And the way I saw it is like any other citizen who wants to bring an idea they have and bring it to the committee, not to automatically be, granted or anything. So in this, this being added to the agenda was news to me, when I saw it. And so I'm not aware, and maybe we have our relatively new public arts manager who can maybe explain how this came about. Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Good evening. Honorable Mayor, City Council, thank you for having me. My name is Vanessa, the Public Arts Program Manager, and I'm here to go over the item about the water tower rehabilitation project. So from the discussion from the September 15th meeting, it was discussed that this was a previous project that was put on the back burner. So it was assigned to Dr. Turek from Utilities, and he asked for us to come in and assist with it. So we are collaborating together to complete this project that was proposed years ago. So that's why we have it on the agenda. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can go through.
Did it go through the Arts Advisory Committee at all?
Yes, we did go in October to discuss. We didn't meet quorum, but we discussed it with our commission members. We also went through the bond council and finance to verify the utilization of the bonds, and it was approved that we can use the public art bonds specifically for these projects.
Mayor,
Yes.
even if it wasn't, quorum wasn't met in the Arts Advisory Committee, can you share what the discussion was like, or?
They agreed that they wanted to complete the project since it was already previously approved by council for these rehabilitations to take place.
Okay, and then as far as, interrupting, I know we adopted a plan, a strategic plan for public art, and I think you started in August, or when did you come in, ma'am? It was August, July?
When I came to present for
September, but when did you start the position? Yeah.
At the end of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was your first time presenting to
Yes,
council?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Question. In some of the discussion that I was or some of the information that I was reading on this particular item, there was a suggestion, but if you've gone to the bond council, then you can answer my question. So my understanding with the bond and the carve-out that we have for public arts is that utility bonds were not included in that original 2% designation. So if this is a utilities project, is the money that you've identified for this coming from utility bonds? And is there something that I missed about that 2% designation? Is there another fund from that?
So if you go through our specific ordinance and you go through the funding section, which is 2019-0177 17-43B, the method of calculation, it specifically states costs of below grade water structures. So for the water towers, it's actually an above grade water structure. And if you cross-reference it with LAMP, there's a whole section in our executive summary and our strategic plan that goes over the 2% for our allocation applies to all above ground structures and improvements financed through the city bonds. So specifically, we can utilize the bonds for these projects. And when we confirmed with bond council, they verified that there are funds within the public art fund for utilities and specifically above ground structures. So if it was anything below ground, and I think they also put wastewater, we would not be able to do anything with that.
Okay, so I guess my understanding, does the 2% allocation come from utilities bonds? Because you're talking about bond monies being the projects that they can take on. But the origination of the money, does it come from utility bonds or are those set aside?
So if you go to the definitions of the capital improvement projects for our ordinance, it states that park, street, sidewalk, a park facility, and a utility or any portion thereof under city limits. So it does specify that utilities is within the capital improvement projects of where we're receiving the 2% for the bonds.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Secretary, for the record, Councilwoman Vanessa Perez is present.
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. All right. So what your motion was? To table it.
Second.
And we have a second.
Can we continue with the presentation, please?
It's been second, there's no more discussion.
That's it. Yeah. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I'm opposed, Mayor.
I'm opposed
Oh.
also.
All right. How many, 4?
Who's opposed?
And 2 against. Motion passes? Yeah, motion passes. Thank you.
Mayor, motion to go to executive session pursuant to section 551.072, Texas Government Code concerning the property for the future 4-5 Bridge project and whether it should remain in the cities of Laredo's extraterritorial jurisdiction and any matters thereto.
Motion, second, all in favor?
That would also be pursuant to 071 consultation with the attorney.
Consultation with the attorney, include our attorneys as well.
And there's one executive session also
On the supplemental.
on the supplemental for
On the
consultation with attorney 071.
To include supplemental jet as well.
To include some, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Executive in executive session. No agreements or done.
Mayor, for number 46, just for staff to proceed as directed.
Second that.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Mayor, and for number 1, on the supplemental as well, for staff to proceed as directed.
Second that.
Motion second,
Actually, it was a table on one of them.
The 46.
I'm sorry?
The 46 was tabled.
46 was tabled.
I move to bring back number 46.
Second.
motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. 46.
Table number 46.
Table number 46. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
For number 1, executive session on the supplemental, for staff to proceed as directed.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. What's your next?
Mayor, your item.
Oh, number 46. No, number 47.
47.
Discussion with possible action to direct city manager's office to immediately commence negotiations with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security regarding properties directly affected by impending border wall construction within the city limits. This directive is in conjunction with the committee to pose subsequent decisive action by city council and any matters related to. This is important because they're moving at very fast speed, so we have to start these negotiations as soon as possible.
Mayor, may I?
Second your motion, Mayor.
Motion second?
May I?
Go ahead.
Mayor, with regards to entering into negotiations, are you talking about anything outside of the framework that we proposed last council meeting?
We directed the city manager to negotiate. What is your question?
Right, so I'm just asking if that is, because it's coming back and you say that they should enter into negotiations, I understood that those negotiations were ongoing. It's going to fall under the adopted framework that we voted on at last meeting. I just wanted a clarification.
I think the only difference is immediate. Is that true?
Yes, Mayor.
Immediately commence.
If I may, I believe that there would be no change because the action is already underway. So I do not believe that this motion is required unless you want to make any changes.
It was just the urgency of it, that's all.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mayor, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure that the part of the presentation you gave us is part of that process, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mayor, that is correct.
I needed
And,
to absolutely clear.
Yeah, and currently from our meeting on Friday, we are developing out the scope of work. We'll get together because we had a couple other decisions that were made on Friday with the legal counsel as well as the committee. We're putting together the procurements, the funding sources and everything. All of that stuff is coming together. We are defining what the scope of this approach using that framework as the backing.
All right, very good. So we had a second?
Second, yes, sir.
Yes, Mayor. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Also, if we can look to our, downstream neighbors to see what they're thinking, what their idea. I know we do that for every other things, like when there's droughts and stuff, and just so we can add that as well.
Yes, sir, thank you. And yes, and our intent is to contact up and down for mainly those areas that do not have any wall yet.
Exactly.
But we're going to check with everybody because I think there's some examples that we want to look at as well too as to how to approach within this negotiation, this conversation.
Please,
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That'll cover both sides?
Okay,
That's the amendment, now it's on the actual.
So now that you accept the amendment, now you vote on
Now on the item.
all of it with the amendment.
Right. So you have to make a motion, Mayor?
Yeah, okay.
Mayor, motion's all second.
Yeah, motion and
For
second
number
already.
47.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next one is?
48.
48. That's yours. No, that's Gilbert.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Gilbert. Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you. Discussion with possible action on an action plan for flood-prone areas, for flood-prone areas known to the city of Laredo and any other matters incident thereto. I know Eliud is here this evening, and we've had discussions with areas known to flood recently and in the past occasions. I know engineering is already conducting a plan. So if you just want to fill us in, Eliud, I appreciate the time and efforts you put into this.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Eliud de los Santos, City Engineer for the record. As Councilman Gonzalez mentioned, we are working along with our Director, Mr. Wagner, from the Environmental Department, on looking at areas that are prone to flooding, like you mentioned. We're working on a plan. Our first action was to start looking at those areas, make sure that everything looks clean from our perspective. Our next step is going to start evaluating those areas and see what can be done to enhance those areas to prevent some of these flooding issues that are occurring in our city. Once we have that plan, we'll bring it up to council to, like any other projects that we have, it's always a constraint of the funding, right? How are we going to fund this type of projects to enhance our system?
Yes, thank you for that, Eliud. And I also encourage, upper development and during our city to follow these regulations that we might have in reference to when they clear lots and stuff. That way it won't affect houses already that are existing downstream.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So just wondering, do you have a list of the areas in South Laredo? I'm very concerned on one particular area which has been, well, actually two. One is on Ejido, which is a Potomac. It's between District 1 and District 2, which is the area that be right behind the school, Ligarde and Sacre. That area, I think it's a retention pond. And every time that we have heavy rain, it floods and we have people getting stuck there. And, they go through there because I think that it's low. But at the same time, you also can see all that, I don't want to say garbage, all the tires, garbage at the same time, all that solid waste going to the gutters and blocking off the gutters and letting the water flow. So, I think that's something that we should look into that. That's Potomac and Ejido. Since I started, that's a big concern of mine. Back 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. So I've been bringing it up before, Councilman Gonzalez was bringing it up. Another one is on 359 on Highway 83 and 359, I believe. It's Highway 83, 359. The intersections, I guess it's where the bridges cross. They call it the bowl. Now they call it the bowl because every time it rains, 3 points, yeah. So every time it rains, it becomes an actual bowl. Everything floods, nobody can move. Or, if God forbid that there's a big accident going south, you already have people, attending people that are getting stuck in their homes, which happened over there by Wright Ranch, all the flooding. And then people stuck over here in Potomac. And then the additional services they're going to give to the community in South, they got to go around because that area. I don't know if we already had those conversations with TxDOT or not. I don't know if you haven't. I don't know if we can speak on this at the same time because it's any matters there too, right? So, just wondering, do you have those conversations, Mr. De Los Santos? Have they agreed to work on something, or did they just want to? Can you enlighten us that, or do you have any information?
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
Councilman Ritchie. So I spoke with TxDOT after the major flood that we had here to look at that area. There's a system that they established because of the way the creek is. So I did ask them, this is a very concern for us because the way it floods, it kind of separates the city, right? Because no one can go through there. So there's no project right now that they have to look into that, but they are looking through their as-built, through their plans to see if they can start looking into improving the drainage in that area. So I did have some conversations with them. I need to follow up with them.
Did they give you a time frame or something? Because it's going to happen all the time, and I'm not trying to believe that we get a lot of rain in Laredo, but when we do get rain, that's one of the main areas. And then like I said, it's not because it's not in a particular district. It's not in District 1 or District 2 or District 3. It's the main one of the corridors are going east and going south. And we should, be on top of that because in case of an emergency, that's the only way in and out on going besides Loop 20, but that's going all the way around. You know, it's gonna be time sensitive, and not only that, it's also gonna affect the surrounding, cities within, within the city of Laredo. I know that we don't cover all the way to Rio Bravo and Cenizo, but people coming from there to our medical centers, they're gonna have trouble, and they have to go all the way around or find a way to, reroute to go to the emergency room. So that's the main concern, and that's something that they should know and have in consideration, that that's one of the main, it should be one of the top priority list,
And we'll make it a priority, and we'll continue having conversations with TechStop to make sure that we can get something, I guess, moving with them, at least a study from their side to start, facilitating some of the plans that we need to.
Appreciate it, Mr. Almontes.
Mayor, Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Santos, in including all of this review, I was also hoping that you would reach out to the people who are working with Recode, because it seems we experienced in South Laredo some brand-new neighborhoods that experienced tremendous flooding. And I would expect that these neighborhoods would have had proper drainage. And perhaps it was because it's that 50-year flood, 100-year flood, whatever the case may be, it just does not seem right that brand-new homeowners are suffering through floodwaters. If we have, the drainage ditches should be clear, right? I mean, they're brand-new neighborhoods. And so if there is a way to improve those standards, or also hold some type of contingency funding from these developers that are turning over these neighborhoods, because it is a matter of, well, you've got to, like, we have to check their work, and how does that happen when we have these major floods? But if they are not meeting the standards that they are required to meet, then there needs to be some way for them to come back and remediate that damage so that it doesn't happen again. I mean, I think that's the least we can do for the homeowners that have brought brand-new homes in these new subdivisions.
No, Mayor, I just really quick, I want to remind my colleagues that this item is worded areas known. So if they have any areas known to the city, they may always email you, and I appreciate the collaboration with the environmental services as well.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention that we, Mr. Los Santos and I have been working together on my district with such issues, and apparently I didn't hear about yours, so it's become a citywide thing. And I'm thinking that maybe, to add to Councilman Cigarroa's statement, that we might have to look at this in a little bit deeper way, because if we're having, I know that the areas, exactly what they're saying happened in their district happens to ours. It only happens after 3 inches of rain. And I'm not sure the capacity of our drainage system has anything to do with that. I know it's a combination of everything, because you and I saw the garbage that gets stuck in there, and it overwhelms, it just rises to the top and goes into private property. And people usually think that it's something that we did wrong, right? So I'm not sure what the real answer is right now, but I think it's something that now that there's enough interest in it, that we might be able to have a little bit of more of an understanding of what happened. And if you could come back with us and give us a complete overview of why this is happening and what the remedy is for that.
Yes, go ahead.
So I understand that the spirit of the item was more for the flood-prone areas, but, I mean, we've seen, and I think what Councilmember Cigarroa brought up was with the development, and I've seen it in my district in meeting with some of the property owners where there's a vacant piece of property and there's a development, and now all of a sudden, like, it changes the flow of water to their property, and now they're dealing with large quantities of water that they didn't have to deal with before. So we do have an issue. We had looked at a particular property, we looked at the depth of the detention pond and stuff like that. It does seem like we're falling short on the requirements for handling the water on some of these new developments, but not just new developments, but the developments that are, and how they're gonna affect the property next door. And so it's been an ongoing issue. I know we've bought several pieces of property in my district that were flood areas. We bought one on Forest Loop. We bought one in by the mall there, that neighborhood that we have there.
Belmont. And so we do have little pockets of properties because the developer put in a community, that particular house flooded, and so the city would buy it just to kind of like remedy that situation. But we did have a lot of people that just moved into homes and then they had water in their living room, and now they're facing mold on a brand new home and stuff like that. So even though there are areas that are known to flooding, development is now bringing flooding to areas that we didn't really anticipate, and that is a problem. So I don't know what the breakdown is or what's going on, but it is something that, you know, is scary because you don't want somebody to just buy a home and now all of a sudden they didn't realize that they were buying a flood zone property.
There's no action on this, right? I'm sorry.
No, they're already operating. So we'll look at the areas and we'll look at our standards and see what we can do to.
Yeah, I think the issues what Councilmember Perez is saying is when these empty lots, that when it rains fast enough or hard enough, the mud comes and they're like in Right Ranch, it's the mud that, you know, that covers the drainage, and then that's when the issue became. So
we'll start addressing those.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, any other questions? No? All right, thank you.
49.
49, that's it. Gilbert.
Number 49, discussion with possible action to name the walking trail at BP Newman Park to Peggy Newman Walking Trail and any other matters incident.
Second.
Thank you,
Motion's-
appreciate that.
Motion second. All in favor? Go ahead.
Sure.
I was wondering, are we no longer using our naming committee? Just,
Mayor,
well, that is an honest question, and I am completely in favor of this item, please don't get me wrong.
No, thank you.
But we do have a committee that is supposed to, we have a process, and it's partly, you know, I would imagine this committee was functioning properly. We could also get some input from them about community leaders in our past and ways to honor them with all of these new projects that we have going on. I mean, it's wonderful that we have growth. It's wonderful that we're creating new spaces. But I do think it would be helpful if we had the community being able to give us some input and having sort of that buy-in from our greater community. But I understand with this item, I am in favor. It's the process that I would like to advocate for.
Go ahead.
And thank you for bringing that up, Councilwoman Seattle. Just a quick question, Mr. Maldonado. Do you have a record of how many times that naming committee has met and met quorum?
Yes, Council. They have missed their meetings. We've called several meetings whenever you all have requests for naming particular parks or buildings, and the attendance has not been there for.
Is that for the whole council, all the council committee members that we appointed? For all?
Normally, we've had to attend. We don't get a quorum. We have like maybe 3 members that show up.
Have you contacted the council members saying that they're your committee member for this?
They've been, we have contacted in the past about the attendance for the committee members, but.
Do we do it every time that the committee members doesn't go, and do you send an email to our
Administrative assistants?
assistant? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And to all of them?
Yes.
That they didn't meet quorum?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Just to kind of elaborate on that, I was gonna ask also, when was the last time they brought us a suggestion on naming something?
It's been a while because we've had problems for the committee to meet and meet quorum.
But they can meet and they can talk about
Yes.
who to name and what to
Correct.
name, and in the 5 years I've been here, I've never seen an agenda item from the committee asking us to consider naming something. It's always been, we wanna name something, and then somebody's rebuttal is, let's ask them. But they can also meet and discuss
Yes.
what to name and bring us recommendations, and I've never seen one.
And in the past, what we have done whenever we take an item to the committee, naming committee, if they don't meet quorum, then we bring it back to the council and advise the council that there was no quorum and for you all to make a decision on that.
Yes.
Yes, really quick, and that's why, how the item ended up here. And I also want to, my colleagues to know that Ms. Peggy never wants or wanted the attention or the recognition. It's me as a representative that acknowledge that the family has donated so much in reference to the, the recreation center. And now that we're enhancing the walking trails as we speak, that's why, this name came up to me as a suggestion.
All right.
I did, but I didn't. But I will.
Go ahead.
From what I remember, I haven't seen the bylaws in a while, but it was always them, the committee was supposed to consider recommendations from council, not for them to come up with names. So when a council member makes a recommendation and they submit it to them, they're also supposed to provide a letter of why they're making this recommendation for the consideration of the committee. And then they would make their recommendation and send it back to council saying, yeah, we agree or we don't agree.
Mayor, if I may.
That was kind of
Yes,
what
go
it
ahead.
was.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why it doesn't work. I think that once the
Maybe.
council member has already spoken to the community on a name that would fit the community or the area, there's no reason to send it. I think the committee would function the other way around and maybe provide us some names and some recommendations that they do the research on their own and kind of give us some suggestions would work better, because for us to get their approval, we haven't really used them for that purpose.
And I agree with you, on a personal, I used to oversee it, and so, I think the way it was set up by council at the time, this is several years ago, that's how it was, for them to vet any recommendations from council, but council has the authority to bypass the board and just make a recommendation, which several council members have done throughout the years, and that's why they don't meet, or they don't consider, and they've even questioned different times when we have met, are we even functioning here? Maybe we can help in other committees that we really needed, right? And so, I mean, it's a consideration for council maybe to dissolve that committee and put these folks to work somewhere else where they're really needed. Not just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion and second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Number 50.
Yes, discussion, thank you, Mayor. Discussion with possible action regarding legal matters related to the border wall and any other matters incident thereto. I do want everyone to know that this matter we discussed at the Friday meeting, the ability for management to look for advice from legal experts related to what the mayor has brought up, the need to really begin to enter into serious negotiations with the government about these plans. I think even Mr. Salazar, who spoke to us here, suggested that negotiations are important because even in his estimation as a proponent for some border wall, we may disagree about that, but he does agree that there are places where it makes absolutely no sense and where there would be significant damage to city property. And so those areas do need to be considered in a negotiating process. I did speak with management about this, and they do seem to have taken that, with the action that we took on Friday, under consideration, and I do think it's
I
moving
would like to
forward.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion second.
So the motion on Friday was to allow management to engage, to hire lawyers needed, experts in the different fields when we're looking at how we enter into these negotiations with the government, to allow them to find the experts that will improve our negotiating stance and show our city attorney's office how they can best position themselves so that we are in a stronger negotiating position. And that did pass on Monday's meeting.
Yes, go ahead.
On Friday's meeting, I apologize.
As asked, for both items 50 and 51, I believe we addressed them on Friday with direction from council.
Okay.
So my question is there a different motion or do you want to?
No, that item came up. I do have a discussion item for 51.
All right, so,
Okay, so
So 50, no action.
no action already had passed. 51.
Yes, Discussion with possible action to hire environmental consultants with specialty in geomorphology and or hydrology to study the impacts of the border wall construction and river buoys. I just did want to highlight, so yes, I think the motion on Friday did cover the ability to hire experts in all fields, legal, geomorphology, hydrology. I just want to emphasize the need for this because these river buoys are a brand new item that the federal government is bringing. The river buoys have already been shown in Eagle Pass to cause significant damage to the river, and they're seeing impacts to the water flow. And because the city of Laredo is 100% dependent on the Rio Grande for drinking water, it is incredibly important that we make sure that these experts are looking at our stretch of river and deciding what impacts we could receive here. And if we're to, I do believe, the mayor was talking about the urgency of the situation, then I would like to see the hiring, the looking for people, finding these experts. I can, at the water conference that Councilmember Alyssa Cigarroa and I attended in McAllen, put on by the Texas Water Foundation, and especially about the binational river, there are people out there who look at and study sedimentation, erosion, and the flows in the river and how it impacts our treaty obligations and the flooding that can occur when you put items either along inside the river or along its banks right up against the edge of the floodplain. So it is incredibly important that management work to find those experts, and I think we've given you the ability to hire them. If we need to pass a special budget to do that now, please let us know, because that gives us information in order to enter into these negotiations with a much stronger stance and making sure that we are protecting our city property and the interests of the people who live here.
Do we have a report from the Army Corps of Engineers that did a study like that? Do we have a report from them?
Mayor, my understanding is that they're willing to provide us with any of that data that they have. They have not done that as of to date, but we are working on getting whatever their information is, and we can kind of walk through that. Based upon what Councilmember Cigarroa is saying as well too, is that we are working on, based upon the decision of the council on Friday, we are working on defining that scope and which experts we need now and in the future. The challenge is that within the framework that was provided, I have a very basic budget within there, and that will not cover a lot of this retainage and everything. And so I really want to make sure that I get you together a better number for where that's at. Some of the estimates are jumping around in a lot of different places, but we will go after that information, Mayor, from.
I think we need that.
Yeah,
we
from
need
the
that,
court.
get a baseline at
From
least.
everybody.
Yeah, mayor, staff, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you just mentioned about the Army Corps of Engineers already doing a study, that's already been done. And from the meeting you all had several weeks ago with the people that are supposed to be building the wall, they already mentioned that President Trump signed an order, no matter what environmental study comes out, it's going to be overruled, overseen. The wall's going to be built regardless. Whatever he wants to put in the middle of the river is going to be put in the middle of the river. Was I misinformed, or was that exactly what was said to you all? And are you all privy to that information? Obviously, I know this report on environmental, you don't have it yet, but you just mentioned that. But what I just mentioned prior to, that he already signed the order, that is not going to prevent us from building this wall. And if it should go further, I just want the public to know this, if it should go further, and the federal government, this goes to the DOJ, they will implement eminent domain. Eminent domain cases with the federal government have a 95 to 98% win rate. And that's a fact. I'm not making this up. These numbers are factual. So we have a 2 to 5% chance of fighting this. So I'm just asking, why spend the money on environmental studies if they've been done by the Army Corps of Engineers? And regardless of what comes out, that wall is going to be built. That's not that I'm against it. I'm a proponent of the environmental studies. I am. But if it's been done already, why are we doing this over again?
If I may,
Go ahead.
unless council wants something different today, but on Friday, we got the direction to be able to hire experts in legal and other fields, science fields to help us. So it may not necessarily be a study, but from my experience was dealing with the federal government regarding the Starr County, they were not as forthcoming with some of their studies. So that may be why we need to have some experts to help us digest the information, but it may not be a full-blown study, and we would not want to waste any money. And as far as a supplemental budget, I've been on the other side. I just know that if you say, we give you $200,000, we go ask the consultant how much they're going to charge, they'll say $200,000. So we'd like to come back and tell you what their rates are and what their proposed work is, and maybe we can do that in executive session.
Mr. Nguyen, also, may I continue, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
With my follow-up, please. You mentioned, Mr. Nguyen, legal experts. Excuse me for asking, and with all due respect, the city of Laredo owns acres and acres and acres of land. We sell it, we purchase it, back and forth. With your legal team, how many do you have in staff that are legal experts, that are attorneys?
There's 8 of us, yes.
Just a question.
By all means, please.
You don't think that you all have the knowledge to handle this versus us having to hire a firm that may cost us anywhere from $200 to $1.5 million, depending on how far this goes? And I'm just asking your honest opinion. Would your legal staff, do you believe that your legal staff, and I believe you are, I believe you've got over 120 years of experience there sitting within your office, maybe even more than that. Do you think you're capable of handling this?
If I may, just real briefly, our office takes on these legal defenses, unlike some other city attorney's office or other general counsel offices that mainly just manage outside attorneys. So yes, we would be willing to take on this. However, like with bond counsel and certain intellectual property, this is maybe if it touches on environmental, we don't have that daily expertise. And so I would welcome another attorney to consult, but this necessarily, I know your question is, I don't think that right now we're advocating.
But you mentioned environmental. I hate to interrupt you, but you mentioned environmental.
Right.
If it's true that President Trump signed that order, that no matter what happens environmentally, no matter what we can prove how it's going to affect us, the citizens of Laredo, it's going to go through anyway. So that portion of the equation is gone. That's gone. It's not here anymore. What part do you believe that you and your team cannot handle?
If I may, I'd like to consult with some experts in this field to confirm whether there is any avenue that would help us negotiate. And I don't think that the direction was, to just fight for the sake of fighting. It's a matter of getting us information.
It's a matter of negotiating. We don't want to fight with them. We don't want that. We want to negotiate that, right?
And if I could step in, council member, and that's the strategy within the framework. There's none of us that want the wall, a physical barrier within that. We believe that there are other options to border security. The whole framework is designed in order to create a very strong negotiation side. So if we have to come to negotiation, we want to make sure that we understand the full value of what the impact is to us. And I think that's where it kind of drives through this thing. It's not about just trying to stop the wall. It is trying to make sure that we have negotiated the value back to our community as to what that impact is. Because if eminent domain does come, there's going to be this conversation going, well, we believe that the property is valued at X. And we're going to say, we believe it's valued at Y.
Right.
There's going to be a come together of that conversation for that. What we have the ability to do is bring in those experts for those pieces. I don't believe that the three-prong that we have here is that one was the negotiation of the framework. That in my mind, that was the big conversation on Friday, was how we're going to negotiate through these conversations. What information do we need to prove? Can we get something different than a bollard wall, and can we get into a storm wall?
Right.
And there are a lot of different models out there. But because we have essentially three prongs on this thing, we're going to be walking through all three of them at the same time. The other one is that if push comes to shove, then we have to at least draw a line at some point in the sand if we have to. No, regardless of where that. If we can't get our voices heard saying this is the value of this area, then we're going to have to be ready to go on that one. The third one is that, and this was a conversation I did have with a couple of you, is that we have to create a true border security plan that works for Laredo and say, these are the options of what we are very comfortable with. And that's been the conversation I think the mayor has had continuously is, these are the pieces that we want. I mean, because we like the personnel that we have here. We believe that actually benefits us, and that's part of the reason why we're that #1 safest city. But I think those are the three prongs that we have to be ready for at any given time frame in there, because just like you said, we are going to walk through this step by step. We are waiting for one document that we believe that will help us, because the waivers right now that the federal government have done have been essentially for the environmental, the endangered species, a lot of different pieces in there. But we don't believe it waived everything. And we believe that there are some conditions that were the treaty with Mexico. They don't have the ability to waive that. So we believe that is one of our possibilities within those conversations. So the intent is to not go out and definitely not go out and hire a lot of experts for information we already know. And that's why we're trying to get that detailed scope together as quickly as we can, so that we can show, here's the pieces that we might want to be more prepared for.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
and just like for the public at home, this agenda was made almost 2 weeks ago. We had a special meeting called this past Friday, a few days ago, where a lot happened, a framework that we were introduced to, that we passed. And I think these two items, Councilmember Melissa Figueroa had on from 10 to 14 days ago, that with the uncertainty that we didn't know if we were going to get to this before today, in times of the essence, we only have one more meeting the rest of this year, December 1st, although I do hope that mayor, city management, that if anything comes up and it's timely, that we have, if needed, a special meeting to address any urgent matters, because a lot could happen between December 1st and January, the end of January, when I think is our first scheduled 2026 meeting. So just please, city management, mayor, anything that you feel that city council needs to be privy to. I think, this is a time to be open to special meetings, because, this could come at us like a very fast storm, and we just want to be ready for anything that changes, and anything that management needs from us to approve, whether it be budgetary or what have you, I think this council is ready to act when needed.
Go ahead.
So I understand, Councilmember Gutierrez, you weren't able to be here on Friday, and we did have a lot of this discussion with the public to try to establish that framework, as was said, and that we really are looking at how we improve our negotiating stance, because in any eminent domain case, the value is in the end what you're negotiating. And if you do not have proof of that value, then the value the government gives you is pennies on the dollar or less. So that is why, even if the win rate is 2%, 3%, whatever, 5%, whatever it may be, you position yourself in that in order to extract the maximum value, because we are protecting and trying to value our Laredo interests, and they're not nothing. And this federal government, as you have rightly said, is just willing to throw it down, and they are not taking into consideration any of the unique features that we have in our community, nor do they understand that the river is the only source of drinking water for us. So when we talk about putting in the buoys, which is something I will gather that Army Corps of Engineers has not studied, because the buoy placement is brand new. This did not happen the last time. It has caused environmental chaos in Eagle Pass. Eagle Pass has another source of water. We do not. So when we talk about the need to figure out what the sedimentation from those buoys and the changing the river flow is going to be, it will impact our water intake. It could impact the quality and quantity of water that we can receive, and that is incredibly important for our population here. So we would not be following due diligence if we were to just allow the Army Corps of Engineers to do their own studies and then accept whatever they give us, in my opinion. We had a lot of definitions. What is our duty to the public? Our duty is to protect our interests here as a city. And yes, it's environmental, but it's more than protecting the ecosystem and the pathways of the black bear that has been crossing the river, right? We have an incredibly close relationship to this river because of its importance to drinking water, not just now, but for the future. And we all know that water is crucial for the growth of our city. Corpus Christi is going through a lot of pain right now because they have 1 year of water left before they're going to have to start restricting their economic development because they don't have enough water. Our years of when we have to weigh those issues have always been in the decades, and maybe it's a little bit less now, but this impact could be that we see that shrink dramatically, and we better figure it out now, because that's going to influence decisions that we make when we're going out to look for other water sources. So, the other harsh fact about this, it is not eminent domain, is a maybe, and it's a threat that the federal government could hold over us if we don't accept their wall plans. The process is the federal government comes in and they take the land because they're going to own where they build the wall. So we're already there. We are already at the stage where eminent domain is coming, and it's not because they're threatening us, it's just part of the process to get that wall built. So when we look for lawyers who are experienced in eminent domain cases, it is because at the bare minimum, they can slow down sometimes these processes, so they force the government to consider all of our unique situations here. The way our river curves and bends, the impacts that flooding will have on our neighbors. This is not an academic exercise. We've already had flooding, and we know the floods move both ways along to our side of the river and also to Mexico's side. But if we don't quantify what that damage is going to be from an additional layer of border wall, and while you call it a fence, the debris fills up those 6-inch spaces very quickly. It becomes a solid wall. It's going to push water into our neighbors. And we as a community will be held to account for what is happening to our neighbors and then also to our treaty obligations. And so again, and I know I've stressed it a lot, it is very important that we have experts that are able to quantify and qualify what that kind of damage is, because bare minimum, we want the federal government to pay us for every single cent that we are due from sacrificing so much, sacrificing water security potentially, sacrificing this land that, we've been a city, a community longer than the entire history of this country, and they're asking us to sacrifice that land for something that we believe we've shown we don't need because our security is so strong here. And we haven't built a wall. And we have this amazing relationships with Mexico that makes us a stronger community. So we can't be asked to give up so much without being able to go and say, this is what it's worth. And we want to have compensation for that because our future generations are going to be made to suffer for this project that right now we don't need.
Thank you. Mr. Neb, can you tell us what you would need if you would need further expertise advice? And I don't think they're asking us, they're telling us. They're not asking us to give up the land, they're telling us. So is there any other thing that, if there's any other thing that you think might be needed, that you would need expertise help?
If I may just jump in real quickly, I believe from Friday, you all passed the framework, and we're working on that, and we're building out our team. And we'll bring back the experts, but we need to meet with them, select them, and then bring back for you all to consider.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, motion. Oh, second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. And Mayor,
Yes.
I think, well, is my supplemental item the next item?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Secretary? Okay, thank you. Yeah, and, right after a wall discussion, this item feels somewhat trivial. But, this is just a beautification idea of xeriscaping along area, city right-of-way, where, we all get the calls, we all get the concerns about, after a rain, the weeds popping up and just, of course, Public Works gets through it as fast as they can, but oftentimes our constituents are not satisfied with the speed. And this was something I brought up in 2024, I believe, and there was another project in District 4 with Mr. Garza's predecessor. They were going to finish that one first, and then, like was mentioned, that this would be done next. And so I'm just bringing it back. And this is basically a motion to go out for a RFP for construction and xeriscaping options, both with and without irrigations, for options to choose from, with the cost of construction and creation of the xeriscaping options, 1-year maintenance fee, what it would cost with opportunity to reuptake twice, and specifically for International from Springfield to Stonefield Lane, McPherson from Delmar to Shiloh, and Shiloh from McPherson to Backwoods Trail. I'll give staff those in. This would also be an option that other districts could mimic once we get the RFP, but that's just the way the motion is currently stated.
Second. Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn? Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Fantastic.
That was a quick gavel.
That's good. Very quick.